Hello, Abnormal Investigations. Got another encounter for you. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing great. And it's always great to see, hear, and hang out with all of y'all. If you don't mind, check to make sure you're still subscribed with the channel. I get a lot of reports of people saying that YouTube has unsubscribed them, and make sure that your bell is set to all. Whenever you ring that bell, it'll give you all of our notifications. But yes, a lot of people have been unsubscribed, so check your subscription. Make sure you're still subscribed because we got a lot of cool stuff coming, even some boots on the ground coming this week. So I hope you will enjoy that. Here's today's encounter. When I was a young girl, in the beginning, I was taught the dead can't harm you. Well, it was a lie. One night, I went into my room to go to bed because it was a school night and I had school the next day. When I went and laid down on my bed to go to sleep, I felt someone grab me on the feet, and I yanked my feet back and immediately got up and ran to turn on the bedroom light. I looked around to see who did it, but there was no one, and I got scared, and I started to run into the living room where my parents were watching TV. When I told my parents what just happened, my mother looked at me and said it was just a bad dream. I knew it wasn't a dream because I didn't go to sleep yet. I just laid down. It happened for quite a while, and every time I turned my bedroom light on, nothing was there. I knew I couldn't sleep telling my parents because they would only say that I was dreaming. By the time I became a teenager, whatever it was just got stronger. This time, in my ears, I heard a cop, ambulance, and a fire truck sirens all at once. Once I heard it, I could feel myself being paralyzed, and I couldn't do anything. I tried yelling, but no one could hear me. Then, for some odd reason, I could feel myself being levitated. I prayed so hard, and when I was done with me, I could feel my body floating back down into my bed. For years, it was going on, and I did tell my sister Sapphire, but she believed me, I think, but maybe believed Mom more, that maybe I was just dreaming. So later on in years, as I became older, about 81 or 82, my son now was about 1 or 2 years old. That same year, my father built a bigger tool shed. He had a small one that sat by the side of the bedroom window, under a light. I asked my father if I could have the smaller tool shed to turn into my room. I never told him why I wanted to move out of the house. I just wanted him to think that I wanted to have that shed as my bedroom. He agreed to let me have that room. It was enough room to put a small drawer and a bed in it. After I set up the room, I was happy to be out of the house. When my son was around 1 or 2 years old, his father asked me if he could have a sleepover for the weekend. I didn't mind, and my son wanted his father to stay. On the second night, I decided to sleep around the 11 o'clock hour, and by the time I laid my head down on my pillow, that's when I knew it was coming, because I always came with the cop, ambulance, and fire truck siren. This time, I was not only levitated, but I was thrown around the room. It was so scary. I was afraid something more sinister was going to happen to me, but after a while, I ended up flown out of my room and onto the floor, and I headed out of there towards my sister Sapphire's room. I was in shock, crying and scared at the time. I got to my sister's room, and I started pounding on the door so hard that the door opened, with her in front of my face. All I could say was, "They're after me. You gotta believe me, they're after me." When my sister seen how hysterical I was, she knew something bad had happened. But that moment, she opened her door. I knew she was going to say something, but didn't. All I said was, "Let's go to the room and grab whatever you can, and you can sleep with me," she said. As we went walking to my room, my sister stopped at the top of the light tree, and she said, "Get your things." I never paid attention to her reactions on her face. All I wanted to do was to grab my pillow and blanket, but I dare not even step fully into my room. So what I did was put one foot in the room and the other outside the stairs. I just didn't want to go into the room because I was afraid the door would shut behind me and things would get bad and I wouldn't be able to get out. When I went back to my sister's room, I turned to her, still shaking and crying. Sapphire, you believe me, don't you? You gotta believe me. She asked me, what happened in there? Excuse me. Sorry. And that's whenever I told her about the levitation and being thrown around the room in midair. When I looked at her, still repeatedly saying, Sapphire, tell me you believe me, please tell me you believe me, she said, honestly, I thought you had a bunch of friends in your room laughing and making so much noise. I was getting upset because Dad's guy's room is right there. Then she said, I believe you. I was a little relieved, but I believe you now. I heard all kinds of voices coming out of your room. I still don't know what is following me. I still wake up with scratches on me sometimes, my feet being pulled or tickled, giggles in my room, or something one night just slapped me in the side of the face. It even left a red handprint, Mike. It was physical. It hurt. I'm trying to get rid of these, and I've seen your show where you and Randy have said to get a preacher. I've now started attending church for the first time and the only one in my family that does. The preacher has agreed to come over and pray for me. So I guess I'm on the right track. I'm the only one of our family to go to church and to start believing. I hope the others will follow in suit. Thank you very much for your show. You are truly helping people. I appreciate that, and I believe you're on the right track. You can't go wrong when you go to church and you find God. I'm sorry that happened to you, but it sounds like you're going to be getting rid of it soon. I wish the best to you. Keep me informed of how you do. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Keep your head on a swivel. And until next time, guys, don't be something's dinner. And we'll see you on the next one.